Over $9,000 in profit in August betting on sports. Pretty crazy how successful we were, but honestly, not that big of a deal because we make money every single month plus EV sports betting. So what are the secrets? How do we actually make consistent money betting on sports? And what strategies are we going to use moving into football, moving into basketball and hockey? All the sports are going to be back very soon. So how can we use these strategies to continue making money throughout the end of 2024? All of that in this video today. Let's go. Let's start off discussing PrizePicks strategy, because that's where all of the money really was made, for me at least, in August. So I want to talk about our two main strategies on PrizePicks, which is positive correlation and line discrepancies. So let's start off with positive correlation. We're going to look at MLB baseball specifically, because that's where we really found a great plus EV edge, where we're basically just getting paid way more than we should be from PrizePicks. They're paying us out 30%, 40% more than other platforms would for the exact same bet. So let's look exactly at what we're talking about. So when we're looking at positive correlation in baseball, it's between the hitters at the top of the order and the opposing pitcher, right? So what we would do is, let's say we're looking at this Kansas City Royals stack here. We would first check the starting lineups and make sure that, we know exactly who is going to be at the top of the order. And so what we would do is we would find a player who has a run line. So for instance, Bobby Witt Jr., he's got this run line here. So we would add him to the slip. Then we would look at, okay, who's batting behind him? We've got Massey and Perez. So for Perez, he's hitting the cleanup role. He's going to be our RBI guy. So we would add in Perez with an RBI. And then we would take Massey, who's between the run and the RBI, to get over a run or over hits runs RBI. PrizePicks has been removing some of the options that we have. So what I like to do is add in a demon over 2.5 hits runs RBI for Massey. So we've got 2, 3, 4 hitters here for run, RBI, and hits, runs, and RBI. Why is that correlated? Well, if Bobby Witt Jr. gets on base, Massey gets a hit and drives him in. Well, Massey gets an RBI and a hit. There's 2 for him, and there's a run for Witt. Let's say Massey gets out, no worries. Salvador Perez comes up, hits Bobby Witt home. Witt scores his run, and Perez gets his RBI. So they're very correlated together. Makes sense, right? They're hitting, 2, 3, 4 in the order. Now, how do we really bring it all together? Well, now we want to look at the opposing pitcher, Gavin Williams here. And this is where sort of expertise kind of comes in, and playing around with things and making sure you're getting the best payouts. You would think, okay, well, let's just take his earned run line, right? We'll take his over earned runs, and that'll be very correlated. And technically, it is very correlated, right? We've got his earned runs and these players also to go over and score runs. So obviously that's correlated. Now, on PrizePicks, we're getting a 11x, which is plus 1,000. Let's see how this builds on 365, right? 365 is a sports book similar to FanDuel and DraftKings that they take into account the positive correlation and they reduce your payouts. Now, this is where we get the edge on PrizePicks and why we make money regardless of the outcome day to day. In the long run, we're making money. Why? Well, let's see. Salvador Perez RBI. We're going to add in a Bobby Witt Jr. run. And then we'll go down to hits, runs, and RBIs, and we'll add in Massey to get 3, right? Now we'll go up and we will look at our pitcher here, Gavin Williams, to go over 2.5 earned runs. So on 365, for the exact same slip as PrizePicks, we get plus 800. On PrizePicks, we get plus 1,000, right? So that on its own is an EV slip, right? 800 to 1,000. If you place that over and over and over again, 500 times over the year, you're going to make money because you're being paid more than you should be, right? And the reason why is because 365 recognizes that these players are very correlated together, and so they reduce your payout. Now, here's what makes Juiced Bets VIP so special, our Discord, is Every single day we come in here and we find the absolute best option for you. Now, you might think that this 2.5 is a great EV slip, and it is an EV slip and you would make money taking this. However, if you just switch these earned runs to hits allowed, your payout increases to plus 1200, 13x plus 1200, same thing. If we go to 365 and we change Gavin Williams to hits allowed, it stays at plus 800. So now we get a plus 800 when a plus 800 similar on 365, but we're getting paid out plus 1200 on PrizePicks now. Every little bit of value that you can find every single day will increase your ROI and increase the amount of money that you're making betting on sports. We are all math and market data here. And so that's really what the strategy is with PrizePicks, specifically for MLB, and how we made all this money last month, is finding these opportunities where PrizePicks is basically, they're making a mistake here, right? They shouldn't be increasing our payouts to 13x on this hits allowed line when we're on the 2.5 earned runs, we're getting paid less, right? It just doesn't make any sense. And so this is why our Discord has been doing so well with MLB, because we're finding these premium positive correlation stacks here. So that's MLB for positive correlation. Now let's discuss esports on PrizePicks, because we've got line discrepancies and positive correlation over there. And very quickly, just so you don't think I'm speaking out of my ass here, this is our Discord, and this is where all of my bets are being placed and sent to our group of sharp sports bettors. You can get access to this Discord completely free for 3 days. There's a trial link down below. You can check it out. After that, it's just $50 a month. Highly recommend you check it out. And also, we're giving away free months access if you sign up for sportsbooks using our link. So feel free to send me a message if you do want that free access. But yeah, check it out. There's a trial, no skin off your back there. But yeah, these are some examples of slips. Again, over earned runs for the pitcher, and then we've got run, hits, runs, RBI, and RBI. This cashed. Another one, like that was a Houston stack, Astros. We've got the Cubs stack here that cashed. Again, similar playbook. Earned runs with a run, hits, runs, RBI, and RBI. Again, these built well with the earned runs. It's not always going to be hits allowed. You have to play around with it. You have to make sure that you're getting the best value possible. Again, same thing. Earned runs allowed with a run, hits, runs, RBI, and RBI. As you can see, these were 3 cashes in the span of a day, I think. So, yeah, very lucrative strategy on MLB. Highly recommend that you try it. If you want the slips sent directly to you, you know where to find them in that link down below. I'm going to keep esports simple and short here. With esports, specifically CS2 and Valorant, you're looking to take players like in one game, you're taking one player on team A, one player on team B, and you're matching the direction. So you're saying, okay, on this team Bestia here, I'm taking them over maps 1 to 2 kills, and then the team that's playing against them, I would take also over. In this case, they're not listing the line for the team that's playing against them, but let's just assume that they are, that this is a correct same game here. You would take both of them over or both of them under. Why? Because in CS2 and Valorant, what happens is the kill totals are often very correlated to the amount of rounds played. If one team just completely wipes out the other team, they win 13-3, there's only 16 rounds being played, right? So only 16 rounds available to get kills. So that would lean towards the unders, right? Regardless of the team that you're on. Now, if it's a close game and it even could go to overtime, let's say it doesn't go to overtime, but let's say it's a close game, they win 13-10. Well, now they've got 23 rounds to play, and so that would lean to the overs, right? Now, obviously, we don't know if there's going to be, if it's going to be a blowout or a close game, but what we do know are the line discrepancies. Now, I'll get into that in just a second. Before I do, I just want to hammer home. The correlation is between the players in the same game, and we're taking them either both over or both under, because depending on the game flow, If it's a blowout, it's going to be unders. If it's a close game or it goes to overtime, it's going to be overs, right? We don't know what it's going to be, but we know that it's likely going to be very correlated together. Now, how do we decide if we're taking overs or unders? Well, what we do is we check the lines on other sports books, specifically Underdog, right? And so if we were to check these two lines on Underdog Fantasy, another DFS sports betting platform, oftentimes we can find line discrepancies. And this is what we do best at Juice Bets. We send all these plays out to you. We have a tool that finds these line discrepancies. But basically what you can find sometimes is this player might be at 29.5 on Underdog, and this player might be at 33.5 on Underdog. And so on PrizePicks, the line is lower than it should be, so we're going to take the overs. And vice versa. If PrizePicks line is much higher than that on Underdog, we would take the unders. And so what we do is we pair two-man stacks with Esports, CS2, Valorant, whatever it is. We pair these with other two-man stacks and other sports, whether that's football, now it's coming back, we could take those, or it's baseball with a pitcher going over his strikeouts. I could find it here. You take a pitcher to go over his strikeouts, and then you would take a hitter's strikeout line as well, right? So you would go like Chicago White Sox Flexen to go over his 3.5 strikeouts. Then we would find somebody on Baltimore to go over their strikeouts, right? Or we would take this one here. And so this would be a good sort of correlated two-man stacks paired into a four-man, which is where you get the best value, and we would play that. Not necessarily this exact play, but the general idea remains, right? We could get a 10x on this play actually, so a pretty good one here. So that's the general strategy with correlation on PrizePicks and line discrepancies. It really comes down to putting in the work to finding these plays, or just being a part of a Discord that sends you all these plays. It notifies you to your phone, so you can come in, click a link, and tail the slips all month long and make a ton of money betting on sports. These are all proven, profitable methods of betting on sports. Been doing it for over a year and a half now, and it's really never failed me. So if you are interested, I do highly recommend you at least check out the Discord, see if it's something that you would like. If you prefer to make your slips yourselves, no worries. Definitely follow us on Twitter. We give out a ton of tips constantly on what we're looking at. But yeah, hopefully you guys learned something today on PrizePicks specifically. And yeah, we will see you next time.